Go. I'm sorry I'm late. Sorry we're late. We're down here on the boat. We got a lot of projects going on, and we were out doing a sea trial. And we just got back to the dock, so I apologize for being late. But here we go. Here we go. Here we go. It's Baja Jerky Monday. We always start off the show talking about Baja Jerky, so don't forget. Go to BajaJerky.com. Order yourself up some Baja Jerky. Your saltwater guide. Put in the code YSWG and the number 30. You're going to save 30% on your bag of Baja Jerky. Remember, the sweet orange, that's my very most favorite. You can get whatever you want. I don't care. There's a million different flavors. So many different really cool flavors. Go to BajaJerky.com. Remember, Kelly loves the salsa fresca. They've got mango. They've got dried mango. They got churro flavored for the kids. They got so many different flavors of Baja Jerky. Go over to BajaJerky.com. Order what you need. Get it on your boat, because now that you're members of your saltwater guide, you're going to need the protein. You're going to need protein when you're out there fishing. Put in the code YSWG and the number 30, and you'll save 30% on your Baja Jerky, gang. We got some big stuff to talk about. What a weekend. My gosh. So many happy people. So many smiling faces. So many first for so many young people and so many older folks and so many people like myself. Got their first Dorado this weekend in Southern California. Those of you in Florida, the dolphin fish. Those of you in Hawaii, we call them mahi-mahi. It's all the same exact fish. And this weekend was nothing but insane for those who followed the game plan. Those who didn't follow the game plan, a lot of very upset people. A lot of people out there fishing for boats this weekend. Absolutely unbelievable. I have some pictures from some guys, Caden and his father, Mike Allen. They were driving by the east end of Catalina going to the Bluefin grounds, saw the freelance, stopped on a kelp patty with 28 boats parked around them. And they were like, wow, maybe we should check that out. And Caden told his father, don't you dare, Dad. Remember what Captain Dave said, do not fish for boats. They drove another 2 miles, found a kelp patty the size of a car, not one boat around. They took pictures of them hooked up to the Dorado with 2 miles in the distance, 20 boats fishing one kelp patty. Gang, this goes back to what I've been talking about for years and years and years. Stop fishing for boats and start fishing for fish. There was a lot of people that spent this weekend going from boats, groups of boats, to groups of boats. This happens every year during the Dorado. The Clemente out of Dana War Sport Fishing left the area, made an announcement on his PA that they were going into the beach to fish for bass. The 15 boats that were following him around quit following him around. He drove a mile towards the beach, stumbled into a kelp patty, ended up putting 104 Dorado on the boat for 200 hookups. It was full mayhem. One kelp patty made their day, full mayhem. But the big news, and what we need to talk about, is bait barge etiquette, gang. This weekend was nothing but embarrassing for the private boat community. The way you acted in that line, or maybe it wasn't you, hopefully it wasn't because you listened to my show, but the way people acted in the line was absolutely criminal at some points and super embarrassing for the private boat community. Gang, I've told you 1,000 times how to get away from being in that line in the morning. If you could not leave at 3:30 in the morning, leave at 7:30 in the morning. If you left at 3:30 in the morning, and a lot of my clients did, they saw no boats. They pulled up to the bait barge. They were the only boat there. They had a nice conversation with the bait barge attendant. He was more than happy to assist them and load the bait slow so their bait would be alive when they got out to the grounds. But gang, those of you that were in the line from 5 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock in the morning, why were you there first? Why were you in that line? Because you've been listening to me for years. You don't get in the line at that time in the morning. You just don't. You don't get in it when the Dorado aren't biting, and god dang, don't get in it when they are. For God's sakes, if you called me, and not one, but probably 20 people called me and said, Captain Dave, I can't believe that line this morning. 2 hours long to get bait. And I go, what time were you in the line? Oh, 5:15. Then shut up. There's nothing I can do to help you. My God, I've already told you. I don't know when or why or how it happened, but everybody believes you need to go fishing at 6 o'clock in the morning. They just do. And a lot of it we can blame on my father, because he started those 3/4 day boats back in the 40s at 6 o'clock in the morning. And everybody's just followed suit. They went on the 3/4 day boat at 6 in the morning, then they bought their private boat and they think 6 in the morning is the time. Gang, I'm here to tell you one more time, we're going to reiterate the fact that you do not want to get to the bait barge anywhere near that 6 o'clock hour. 3:30 to 4:30 in the morning, perfect time. Anything after 4:30, you can forget about it. And it's going to be this way for the next month, because this Dorado, this bluefin, now yellowfin are showing up in the areas. It's only going to get worse. Everybody that has a boat is going fishing right now because of all the fish that were out there. So gang, you have to not leave at 5 to 6 o'clock in the morning, unless you're into lines. If you love lines, if you're into going to Disneyland on a weekend, if you're into standing in line to get food at a restaurant, then for God's sakes, get in that line at 5:30 in the morning and just enjoy yourself. That way you can see lots of boats, and then you'll have no problem. You'll have plenty of boats to follow when you leave. But gang, the people that listened to me and left at 3:30 in the morning, saw no boats, got out there, were the first when the gray started to come, when the light started, when the higher power started to turn on the lights, and then they were finding kelps in the areas where I sent them, and they were whaling on the Dorado, and they were the only boats. And then the people that can't get up early started showing up and jumping on other boats. Remember, gang, if you see 20 boats stopped on a kelp patty, you should really be excited, because that means those 20 boats aren't out there looking for your patty. Don't go over there. What is wrong with you? Why do you all feel the burning desire to go watch other boats catch fish? You spent all that money on your tackle. You spent all that money on your boat. You spent all that time getting ready. Then you leave the harbor, and the first thing you do, the first boat you see, you drive over next to them and start fishing. Gang, don't do that. You're blowing it, heavy duty blowing it. You can read we're going to have lots and lots of fish reports at yoursaltwaterguide.com in the next couple of days from people that went out and had the time of their life. Also, you're going to be able to go to Facebook. If you're not on Facebook anymore, I don't know why you're not. You need to be on Facebook. Everybody, it's the largest social media platform on the planet. Forget about the politics. Go over there and watch all the cool stuff I post there every day. Just come into Facebook, look at all the cool stuff I post, and get out. But gang, those of you that watch me on Facebook, listen. Mr. Mark Zuckerberg is doubling my stars. What are stars? There's something you can purchase on Facebook for minimal amount of money, and you can sprinkle the stars across to all my reels. Every time I put out a reel, which is one of those 1-minute videos, you can put stars on it, and Mark Zuckerberg's going to match you. So gang, think about that. Those of you that have been thinking, God, I would love to get into Mark Zuckerberg's pocket. Well, now you can. You can give me stars, and Mark Zuckerberg's going to give me stars on top of that. Can you believe that? Mark Zuckerberg's going to give Captain Dave money because he's bringing so many people to Facebook. We get millions and millions of views a week on our Facebook. We get millions of views, and you should take advantage of it. But listen, back to what we were talking about, the bait barge line, gang. When you're in line at that bait barge, you should be in that line with full etiquette. You should be getting in the line, keeping your spot, keeping your mouth shut. If you're pissed off because you couldn't get up on time, it's not the other boats around you's fault. So don't get an attitude while you're sitting in the bait barge line. And when you get up to the bait barge attendant, you need to close your mouth and you need to listen to what they say. If they tell you to pull up to the next box, if they tell you they have to open another box, if they tell you that they got to slide to the other side, then do it and keep your goddamn mouth shut, gang. So many people were so rude this weekend to the bait barge attendants. And it was because you didn't have the wherewithal to get up early and get down there before the long line. The people that work on the bait barge are not in charge of setting your alarm. You are in charge of setting your alarm. You need to be there at a certain time so that you don't have to set in that line. But don't have an attitude towards the people working on the bait barge. Can you imagine scooping bait? Think about this. Dana Point Bait Barge. Talked to Jeff and Joe, and they told me that just under 500 boats for the weekend. Private. That doesn't count all the sport boats. That doesn't count all the charter boats. That is just the private boaters out of Dana Point. Can you imagine you scooping bait to all those people and having a smile and being happy that you're scooping bait? And then Joe Booger Eater with the cigar and a big snot hanging out of his nose and a big belly that he can't even button his pants pulls up with drip and attitude and starts yelling at the bait. Are you out of your ever-loving mind? Gang, we have the best bait in the world. There's nowhere else on the planet where you can pull up to a bait barge and scoop bait into your bait tank. You have to go catch it, or you have to pull up to a ponga down here in Cabo or over in Florida. You have to pull up to the guy that was out fishing for it all night, and he's going to have a handful of baits for you, and you're going to pay dearly. We can pull up to the bait barge here in Southern California, and they'll scoop us hundreds of pieces of bait for a nominal fee, which really, if you think about it, is not that much when you think about the price of fuel and the price that everyone's getting paid. So think about this from this point forward. And it's only going to get worse, gang. The word is out. The Dorado invasion is going on full speed in Southern California. So it's going to be imperative to you to make sure you get up early in the morning, get to the bait barge before 5 o'clock in the morning. Unless you like lines, then get there late. But when you get up to the bait barge attendant, keep it kosher, keep it cool, keep it, gang, think about them. They scoop bait all day the day before. They're scooping bait all morning. They don't need your dripping attitude. They don't care that you didn't get up on time. They don't care. They want to scoop bait to you and get you out of there as quick as possible because there's another 100 boats right behind you. So lose the attitudes. I'm trying to help you. And then remember, this is the big one, gang. You've got to tip the bait barge attendant. You have to. It's part of the deal. It's part of buying bait. Just like when you go to a restaurant, you tip the waiter or waitress. If you don't believe in tipping at the bait barge, then don't go. Don't go to the bait barge. Don't go there. Stay home or go catch your own bait. I see that all the time on social media. I'll just catch. Well, good luck with that. That is the lamest thing I've ever heard. Put a little bit of extra mackerel or something in your bait tank after you filled it up with the bait from the Everingham Brothers or San Pedro Bait Company or Oceanside Bait Company. After you get their bait, then put a little bit of extra bait in there. But go catch your own bait. Are you out of your ever-loving mind? We have a bait barge. Unless you have no value to your time and you just have oodles and oodles of extra time to drive around the ocean and look for somewhere to catch some bait on your day that you finally get to go fishing. But I don't need to have that argument with you, and don't leave that comment because I don't care. If you leave the comment, well, we like to catch our own. I don't want to know what you know anyway because I'm just saying. So think about this. The next time you're going to the bait barge, I think it's $45 a scoop at most bait barges. You know it's going up. The price of fuel's gone up. If it hasn't gone up already at the bait barge, it's going to go up. But what a great concept. Pull up to a barge and get your bait scooped to you from a bait barge attendant. So you better dig deep in your pocket and you better give them a tip. It's part of the deal. If you don't believe in it, please don't go. Don't go. Just don't go fishing. Don't go if you don't believe in the tipping thing. If you don't believe in it, don't go. Just like I say when I do the charter boat thing. If you don't believe in tipping your charter boat captain when you go and the crew, then don't go. If you don't believe in tipping on the sport boat, don't go. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. When you go to a restaurant, you already know you're tipping, unless you have shitty service. And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about good service on a sport boat, on a charter boat, at the bait barge. You're going to tip. So just remember, have some extra money in your pocket for the tip. Have some etiquette at the bait barge. Keep your mouth shut. Listen to the bait barge attendant. Do what they say so you can get in and get out as fast as possible. Because when you pull up there and start your crying and whining and whimpering and bitching and complaining, it just slows the whole line down. And all the people behind you have no idea why they're getting slowed down. They have no idea that your sister's brother's cat ate your homework. And they don't care. And neither do the bait barge attendant. You get up there, it's like the soup Nazi from the Seinfeld days. You get up there, you have your freaking money ready, if you're buying 1 scoop or 2 scoops, and have the tip ready, and get up there and tip after you pay, but have the money ready. Don't scoop the bait on your boat and then go, we got to pay for this? Yeah, you got to pay for it. For God's sakes, you knew that. You sat in line for 2 hours, and then you got up to the bait barge, and then you're like, whoa, what do I owe you? You know exactly what you owe them. The bait barge has a giant sign that says how much it costs. You know how much you asked for. You asked for 2 scoops. You asked for 1 scoop. You know it's $45 or $90. And you know you're going to tip $5 or $10. And if you're really a big tipper, you're going to tip 20. But you already know all that. Have your money ready. Think about it like this. You're at the grocery store and you're in a hurry and you want to get out of – you're at the grocery store. You shopped and now you want to get out. You get up to the line. You get up to the check stand. And there's that one person that wants to write a check. You're pissed. You're like, Jesus Christ, I'll just pay for your groceries. Same thing at the bait barge, gang. All of us are in line waiting for our chance to get that golden bait. Be ready when you get there. Be ready. Okay? That's what I'm going to leave you with today. Be ready when you get to the bait barge with your money and the tip. Tip's important. If you can't tip, don't go. I don't want you to leave a bunch of comments. I don't think they will. Well, don't go. We don't want to know what you know anyway. If you don't understand how the tipping thing goes, we don't want to know what you know. So don't leave your silly comments because we don't want to know what you know. All right? Because if you don't believe in the tipping thing for the bait barge attendant, then you don't know how this whole sport fishing thing goes in Southern California. Just all I do is tell the truth. You don't have to like it. You don't even have to watch me. Those of you that don't like it, you don't have to watch. And I don't even know why you do. I see so many people, I don't even like this guy. He really bugs me. Then what the hell are you watching me for God's sakes? Change the channel. When I was a little boy, if I didn't like what came on channel 11 in the morning after I watched my cartoons, I changed the channel. All right, gang. That's me. That's the bait barge. That was so big time I had to talk about today. Try to be kind. Try to turn off the news. Go outside. Have fun. This Dorado thing is so exciting. It's so fun. And they're seeing so much fish in the water. And it's such a crowd pleaser. And a lot of people are catching their very first Dorado ever. And if you still are out there on your own trying to figure this out on your own, remember your saltwater guide, Captain Dave Hansen. I want you to be successful. I have over 3,000 members on my website that are super happy. They're having a ball catching fish every time they go, or at least when they don't, they know why, because they fished for boats that day, or they didn't get up early enough to be the first one on the kelp patty. They know why they suck. Wouldn't it be cool to know why you suck? I'd be more than happy to tell you every day why you suck. All right. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Bye.